How I edit GoPro footage in Premiere Pro. Let's jump right in. Open up Premiere Pro. I'm gonna create a new project. Call this one Mount Morrison Hike. Go to videos. Now I've already got all my files into one folder, so I'm gonna drag that into import media. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna choose some music. I use musicbed.com for all of my music. Drag this right under the folder into the timeline. Now here I've got all my footage, and then as you can see, some of it's in 60 frames per second, the rest is in 23.976. So I'm just gonna grab all my 23 footage and drag it in. One trick you can do if you're editing a big file or you have lots of files, you can come over here, proxy, and then just hit create proxies. That will make a smaller file and it's just a little bit easier to edit. My computer's pretty decent, so it can handle these GoPro files pretty easily though. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut out all the bad. Two of the keys, there's gonna be certain keys that I'm gonna be using. I for in, and then if I want to jump to a certain end or beginning of a clip, I'm going to hit the up and down arrows to go there fast. Start at the beginning, and I'm just going to cut out all the bad that I know I'm not going to use. Right there. I'm going to keyframe over, hit out, then hit the comma to delete. This is all on Windows. Right there, I'm gonna stop right at about 4 seconds. I try not to go over 5 seconds a clip. See if anything else is in here usable. I might cut that out. Hit the door in, go to the end of the clip using the arrow out, comma. Here's me tying my shoe. I've got the GoPro tripod in this. I'm not going to use that, so I'm just going to go to the end of that, cut that. I'm going to start as soon as I walk into the frame. That's why I turn around to come back to get the tripod. Don't want any of that footage. And I'm basically going to do this for all of the clips. Hit effect controls. Need to rotate this 90 degrees, negative 90 degrees. I'm going to start right there. Use the up and down arrows to go to the beginning and ending of the clips. And I'm just going to speed this up a little bit to get to the second part of my workflow. Got 6 minutes of usable footage. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna grab all my 60 frame per second footage. I'm gonna cut, make a new bin, and call this B-roll, and paste. What I'm also going to do is label this a different color so I know it's B-roll. Let's see. Label green. Then I'm going to go to modify, interpret footage, 23.97. And that's going to give the footage the slow motion look. I'm going to drag my music, usually put it down at audio 3, and then I'm going to use the left bracket key, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and move it down to about -10, -11. Then I'm going to lock it. And then from here, I'm just going to cut out all the crap and cut it down some more. And when I'm doing the cuts, I kind of want to line up my position and just keep the eye moving on me. So right here I'm about mid-frame, so I'm going to hit my in point right there, and I'm going to hit my out point where I'm mid-frame right here. So it's pretty close and keeps the eye moving and the frame changing. And I'm going to try and do that as much as possible. And I like to keep the clip short, never above 5 seconds unless it's just a super epic clip. So I'm walking forward on the last shot. Walking forward here. I don't like this one at all. I'm just getting rid of that. Let's see what this one is. It's kind of a smooth transition. Don't like the shadow in the camera though. Let's try that. And if you ever mess up, I just command Control Z on the PC. We'll go back and undo any of your changes. Like I messed up right there. Try and match myself up with the frame if possible. Normally I would take a lot more time to get the matches right, but I'm just trying to show you how I do my workflow. Here we've got the classic side one. Walk by on the side. Let's see how that matches up pretty good. Now I'm a third of the way through over there. That matches up pretty good. Then I'll just watch the whole sequence. Nice and smooth. I don't like the turnaround right there. Got to get rid of that. Get rid of that camera shake. This is me running back. I'm going to use this for another clip since I ran up this little mountain right here. I think I've got reaching the mountain, trying to line myself up. And I remember I took some B-roll, but I'm gonna move this in. I'm gonna hold down Control and it's gonna push everything over. Now, right here is where I'm gonna add a little bit of B-roll, so I'm gonna go to my B-roll and just find the spot where I was at the mountain. I have a pretty good idea. Not that one, not that one. And I could always add these clips in between the walk-bys, which I might do. There's Red Rocks Amphitheater right there. But we'll see how the time's going. I want to keep this video right at the 3-minute mark. This is where I'm on top of the first mountain. I'm going to hold Control, drag this right into there. And I think I got another clip. I'm going to drag that. And always hit save after every couple minutes. I always hit save after a couple minutes of editing. Okay, right. I'm going to cut that. There's Mount Morrison. Cut that. Little pano action right here. I like this whole clip, but it's way too long, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Going about 2 seconds. 106, 108. Let's start right here. Time remapping, speed. I'm going to use the pen tool. Make a mark right there. And then 2 seconds left. 120 to about 118. Make a pen mark right there. Hit V to put the arrow tool back up. And then I'm just gonna, I don't know, ramp this up to, let's go to 1,000. That's kind of harsh, so I'm gonna push this wing in a little bit to kind of smooth out the transition from fast to slow. And this is all B-roll, so I don't need any of this sound. Ripple delete to push everything back in. And then let's see how that looks. It's me coming back down the mountain. Try and line myself up with the previous shot. I had a little hiking dog buddy that kept following me around today on this hike, which is all good. Back to footsteps. Oh, don't like those shadows. Gonna get rid of that one. Right in the middle there. Lines up pretty well, I think. And then sometimes what I would normally do if I really want to line it up, you can always scale it just a little bit, and then kind of move it over so it matches a little closer, but I'm not going to get too crazy with this. Don't like that turnaround right there. This is probably my favorite shot, the Class 2 scrambling. Lots of fun. I'm going to let this one roll a little longer. Making it to the top of the summit. Running to the top. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Could easily fill in another minute, but I don't know if we're gonna make it that far. I've got enough B-roll to do so though if I wanted to. So I'm just gonna grab these. These are all from the summit. Keep it moving from left to right. There. And I've already done this shot once in the video, so this would be a good ending, I guess. Save. Alright, I'm going to add a couple more B-roll shots into the hike just to give it a little more walking. Got the plants. Reveal of Red Rocks Amphitheater. Don't want too much of that power line in there. Oop, that's the wrong one. Just get rid of all of that. Maybe it was this clip. Yep. So Control. Insert that right in there. And I kind of like to edit the B-roll to the music. I just think it makes the edit flow more smoothly. Everything looks good. Hit save. Alright, back at the beginning. Just gonna put a couple of finishing touches on this footage. This is the opening shot. I really do not like this shadow right here. We can get rid of that pretty easily. I'm gonna hold down Alt, duplicate this clip by dragging it up, clicking on the clip, going over here to create ellipse mask. Then I'm gonna drag the mask over the shadow. Just want to cover it. Gonna feather this to about 35%. hit enter, hit invert, select the clip under it, the original clip, and I'm just gonna move this over a little bit until that disappears. And it looks like it blends in pretty easily. 2163 is the position I moved it over. I'm going to go over to the clip next to it. 2163, hit enter. And then I'm going to extend this over that. And let's see how that looks. From here, that looks good. Now usually I would add a title. Settings, animation, title scale, I'm going to leave that as is. Mount, Morrison hike. Secondary text, Morrison, Colorado. It's a lot of white on white, so I'm going to grab the title, move it down some. That looks a little better. Drag this up one. And then I'm going to find a clip to start my color grading. You only, if you're shooting GoPro and your Pro Tune is set to on, you have more control over the color grading of the footage. Out of default, it will use the GoPro color profile, and it's very hard to get good colors if you have the Pro Tune set to off. But I'm shooting on I shot all of this on the GoPro Hero 7 on a flat profile. So I'm gonna create a new item. Adjustment layer, same sequence settings as the sequence. Here's my adjustment layer. Click on that. Gonna go to Lumetri color. I use creative lookup tables. The one that I use a lot of the times for GoPro is SL Big HDR. It's by Matty Hoopa, I think. I'm not pronouncing his last name right, but he sells lookup tables and I like the look of them. This one is a little too strong, so I'm going to set the intensity down right there to about 50%. And as you can see, it's just adds a little bit of pop to it. If you want to add a little more depth to the footage, I just grab the curve, the RGB curve, and just a little bit I pull it to the right. And then I'm going to go to the top and just a slight S curve, nothing too crazy. And just that makes a big difference in adding depth. But that's all I'm going to do for this video. I'm not going to get into color grading. I'm definitely not an expert at color grading and all that. So this is just very quick. I'm going to drag that all the way across the entire footage. And then from here, we're going to go to Export, File, Export, Media. Now, first thing I do is I change the output name because this is going on YouTube and I want the file searchable by search engines. So we're going to call this Mount Morrison Day Hike in Colorado. Hit save. That's going to be the name of our file. Export video, export audio. Preset is I usually use custom, but you can use YouTube 4K Ultra HD. I'm going to scroll down here, render maximum depth, and then the VBR 1 pass. I always do 2 pass. Target bitrate I go to 55. I find it's less glitchy when it finally gets to YouTube. If you do it at 55 with the 2-pass, use maximum render quality, and you can either queue it or export it from here. And this would take about 30 minutes to export, but that's basically the process that I go through when I edit my GoPro footage, my Nikon footage, my drone footage. It gets a little more complicated when you start mixing and matching 3 different types of cameras together. Being a camera junkie, I always use too many cameras. I'm trying to get down to just using 2 max every hike that I do. But if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a comment if you want to see more videos like this with tutorials on how I edit, shoot footage and photos. Let me know in the comments section. But until the next one, I'm Dave Spates, Hiking Adventure Photography.